All right, hello y'all. I feel like I'm gonna give off quick draw McGraw vibes here with all of my implements pocketed in my scrubs, but let's go and talk about shoulder health and building back some confidence in rotation. Now, shoulder rotation is one of those places that feels scary. Like if you're reaching back to perhaps like hook a bra and we find ourselves in this kind of exposed, could be kind of impingy, could be painful position. We need to understand that the shoulders need to have rotation, that we need to be able to fully express all of the things that it does. Look, as we move up, back, out to the side, rotate. And one of the ways that we can start to build back some of that confidence in motion is with this little flow or sequence. So I'm gonna start with a tennis ball here. And what I'm gonna do with this is we'll go off of my left shoulder as historically my stickier side. So let's work with my left side as the affected side. I'm gonna work on a tennis ball behind the back pass. Now notice I'm not just doing all the work with my right hand and just grabbing a hold with my left. I wanna reach behind with my left and challenge myself a little bit. When it comes to rotation and building back, like I mentioned, some of this confidence, we need to show the brain that it's safe. So the first rule I always want you to follow is keep it relatively pain-free. Little discomfort of like, wow, I haven't reached back here in a little while, like for your butt pocket, for a phone or a wallet. If we haven't done those things, just go slow. But you're reaching back, grabbing, and then we can go some the other way where I'm reaching and passing as far as I can with that left hand back behind me there. And when I get to the point where I can pretty comfortably reach this ball towards the opposite hip and then receive it from the opposite hip as well, we can graduate onto the next piece. Now, you don't need a Theracane. I just looked for something long enough that this would be easy. So you get a little bit of motion, we're getting behind the back. Now we'll start to add in some functional external rotation, being able to reach his back behind you, grabbing a hold of it. Notice I'm not like really pushing anything. And then look, I get some more functional internal rotation here as I reach up and grab that stick. So I'm gonna face away from you to show you a couple reps. See, right here I'm about where I was with the tennis ball. So although this looks a lot more dynamic, I'm not in fact that much more off. Search for it, where am I at here? That's what happens when I yap. All right, so it doesn't need to be a straight bar. Broomstick works really well with this dowel rod. PVC pipe if you had to happen to have some of that lying around. And as you get a little bit more comfortable, you can reach, here's where I was with the tennis ball down here, about like at waist level. I can start to reach up a little bit more. And I'm just passing this lightweight object. I did grab a shorter dowel to show you a more advanced method of, now I really gotta reach. You see this is my tighter internal rotation side, my dominant side. But you can reach with a smaller object. So working that functional external rotation, reaching back this way, which for a lot of times isn't gonna be as scary as getting into this position here, functional internal rotation. So you build these here, and eventually, it's just nice to pass something. It gives your hand a little bit of feedback, even though those aren't weights, a little bit of weighted feedback. Eventually we can go into what I call, the Da Vinci man inside the circle. Not an artist, so pardon if I just slaughtered that. But I call these Da Vinci arms because you kind of look like you're doing that. What this looks like here, and this is after you go through a sequence there, so don't start with this right away, but you're gonna go into functional internal rotation and reach as far up as you can, come down, come out to the side, and now go into functional external rotation, reaching as far back and down as you can this way. Internal rotation, external. As I get a little bit more warmed up in this, I try to keep my head stacked on so I'm not really shooting my head out in front of my body. I got a little pop in the shoulder there. So now I'm actively taking through my shoulder through that motion that if I was trying to hook a bra or get into something, even like put it on a coat, a jacket where you're not having to feed this arm through first. It builds some confidence and teach that brain that this rotation and these patterns is in fact safe as long as you build up to it slow. When we look at rep counts for these, I don't look at, more than 5 to 6 rounds at first. So like passing the tennis ball 5 to 6 directions each. Move on to a dowel rod and so forth. It's more, and I'll keep saying this, it's more about consistency of the dosage more than the dosage itself. So in other words, like 20 reps isn't better than 5 and 30 reps isn't better than 20. It's just about doing this more often than you're not. So we kind of generally say 5 to 7 days a week. If you're trying to improve something, you want to kind of hit it every day, so it starts to build that it strengthens that neurological tone of figuring out how to get your body moving again. And cool, comment below if you have any questions, and thanks for tuning in.